Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lore and Loot. Today we're continuing on with more Fighters Guild, but unfortunately, Idis FireEye has no more jobs for someone of our rank. Even if we advance as much as we can right now, we won't be high enough rank to get any more quests from her. This means it's time for us to move on to greener pastures and try out another Fighters Guild hall in some other town. Without advancement, we really can only go to two places. We can go to Vivek's Fighters Guild or the Fighters Guild in Wolverine Hall, which is the fort near Sadrith Mora. Sadrith Mora is the council seat city for the Great House Telvanni. We'll explore Sadrith Mora completely in a different episode. It's a very big city with strange architecture and lots to see, but for today, we're going to focus only on Wolverine Hall. Wolverine Hall is the only place of Imperial influence in the city of Sadrith Mora. The Telvanni aren't particularly welcoming of outsiders in their town, and there's a feeling that they really don't pay any mind to the fort or its inhabitants. Inside Wolverine Hall, we teleport straight into the Mages Guild, where we can get guild services, or if you are a member, quests.
So what do you want? So what's this regarding?
Outside this room is a spiral staircase, which leads down one level to the Imperial Cult Altar. Here, worshippers of the Nine Divines can get their services.
Any time now. Let's hear it. Yes?
This door leads to the exterior of the fort. A bridge connects the small isle to the mainland Sadrith Mora, which is actually on an island as well. Just over the bridge is Dirty Muriel's Corner Club, the local Thieves Guild hideout.
Go ahead, stranger.
Back inside, we can go down one more level and reach the Fighters Guild quarters. Here we meet the local guild steward, Rundi. Rundi here will give us a new quest without the need to be of any higher rank. Now, just so you don't think I overlook this, Perseus Mercius has nothing to say about this quest, so you don't need to go and ask him about it. Anyway, the job he has for us is to go to Nchurdamz, a Dwemer Ruin far to the south, and assist someone named Lariana Markrina in defeating some necromancers. This is actually a mistyping. The mission does not involve necromancers at all. Instead, we're to help Lariana defeat a Daedroth. Daedroth are a type of lesser Daedra, or demons, typically under the service of a more powerful Daedra. Daedroth are reptilian in appearance and are typically associated with the Daedric prince Molag Bal, though they can be found in the service of other princes as well. In Morrowind, Daedroth are powerful foes, capable of casting two really powerful spells, Poison Bloom and Shock Bloom, which are area of effect spells that can down a low-level character in seconds. They also use powerful strikes with their sharp claws to deal substantial melee damage, and finally, they have the ability to cast two spells, the Third Barrier, which is a defensive spell, as well as Regenerate, which heals them. Anyways, this particular Daedroth is called Relvelsu, and is holed up in the ruins of Nchurdamz. The fastest way to reach Nchurdamz is to take the Silt Strider to Molag Mar, a town located in the Molag Amur region, and then travel directly east. You can also travel south from Sadrith Mora, swimming from island to island until you reach Azura's coast, and then travel on the flat grassland south. Now, if you decide to go to Molag Mar and walk east, the easiest way is to get off the Silt Strider platform and walk around Molag Mar on the north side of town until you reach the water. Follow the path northeast and then go east again until you reach the water again. This time, though, climb over the small hills here. It can be tricky in some parts as the hills are too steep in some areas, but there is a way to climb over. And once you are on top of the hills, if the sky is clear, you'll be able to see Nchurdamz to your east. To the north is the Dwemer Ruins of Nchurdamz, which, yes, is just the switching of the A and the U in the name, so don't get confused. Now, I decided to take the long way and swim, jump, walk from Sadrith Mora all the way south. Nchurdamz is actually almost exactly due south of Wolverine Hall, so you can get there that way. There are many little islands along the way, some of which are empty, but some have tombs or ruins of some form or another, so it is important to take care, as well as having to deal with slaughterfish along the way. Now, before you set out, I strongly recommend you grab a potion of cure poison, or 2, maybe even 3, and some healing potions or scrolls. Anyway, now is a good time to talk about these Dwemer Ruins we have seen here and there. There are 2 types of ruins on Vvardenfell. You have the Dwemer Ruins, and then you have the Daedric Ruins. The Daedric Ruins we'll cover in depth later. They are the oddly shaped ones, with the weird angles and shapes, constructed from a strange purplish red stone. The Dwemer Ruins are the more steampunk-looking ones, with the tall towers, spirals, and pipes and steam coming out of them. These ruins were constructed by the Dwemer, an ancient race that resided in ancient Vvardenfell thousands of years ago. Dwemer in the language of the elves means the deep ones, and they were some of the most technologically gifted races to ever exist in Tamriel. Many of their devices are still active to this day, thousands of years since their creators vanished. Their secrets and methods are still not understood, even though many scholars and researchers have devoted their entire lives to their study. Now, the Dwemer disappeared from the mortal realm in the year 700 of the First Era. The disappearance of the dwarves is one of the biggest mysteries in the Elder Scrolls universe, and one of the most interesting to delve into lore-wise. However, it would take hours to talk about it, and we don't have the time to talk about the whole Dwemer story today. In either event, there are many dwarven ruins scattered around Vvardenfell, as the island was once the seat of their kingdom. Dwemer ruins are typically dangerous places because, as I said earlier, many of their devices are still functional. This includes the defense mechanisms, which come in the shape of Dwemer spiders, spheres, and the large and very dangerous steam centurions. Not to mention, some of the ruins are haunted by dwarven specters, the ghostly apparitions of the inhabitants, long dead, but still patrolling their old homes. These ruins are also filled with treasures, such as precious stones, glass, and ebony, and, of course, ancient Dwemer artifacts like weapons, machinery parts, bowls, and cups, and other similar items to that. Now, these items fetch a fair price at pawn shops, but technically, during the time of Morrowind, it is illegal to remove Dwemer items from the ruins, and selling them is also prohibited. Thus, Dwemer artifact smuggling is a lucrative enterprise. Now, once we reach the ruins, we see a small makeshift camp where Lariana has been waiting for us. If we talk to her, she'll let us know that she has been tracking this particular Daedroth for a long time, and she has a particular vendetta against it. Now, we can have any of the treasures in the place. She only cares about defeating the monster. Entering the ruins, we see the place is made entirely of metal. The floors and walls are metal. The tables and chairs and shelving, all metal. We encounter our first Dwemer animunculi, centurion spiders, and centurion spheres. Now, we're going to loot the place later. For now, we're heading on through. Lariana Macrina is a powerful fighter, so you don't have to worry about her falling prey to the enemies here. She can also heal you if you talk to her, but remember, Magicka does not regenerate in this game. If you have her cast a spell on you to heal you, that's one less offensive spell she can cast on your foes as you continue through the ruins.
I can smell the stench of the Daedroth. It is here, and I will find it. You're not even trying. No one can match me. The beast is near now, very near. Be on your guard.
In these alcoves along the way, we find more Dwemer constructs guarding the place. However, the boss enemy is at the end of the hallway and down these stairs. The Steam Centurion is the beefiest of the Dwemer animunculi, and it packs quite the punch. If you're feeling particularly cowardly, or simply can't handle the thing yourself, you can let Lariana kill it. She's more than capable. We are now in a giant lava-filled chamber. Take care not to fall in it, and don't wander too long here because Lariana may fall in the lava herself and die. On the opposite side of where we come in is a trap chest. Inside is the key to Relvelsu's chamber. If your lock-picking skill is high enough, you don't need the key from this chest. But it's a hard lock, so I need to grab it. Both the chest and the door to the chamber are trapped. Thankfully, there's a healing scroll right here if you get unlucky and the trap gets you good. With key in hand, we can now face off against the Daedroth. While Lariana hits the monster with some spells, I'm gonna buff myself and enter the fray. Unfortunately, it appears that the creature will focus on the player if we get too close. So I'm just gonna pop in and out and let Lariana do most of the hacking and slashing. The melee attacks aren't so bad, but if you get hit with the poison bloom, you could be in some trouble. That's why I recommended you bring the potions.
Relvasu is vanquished, yet somehow I feel uneasy. I must investigate these ruins further. You have been a worthy companion. Farewell, my friend.
Anyways, this ends the creature's reign of terror. It's an interesting quest because Lariana is one of the very few uniquely voiced NPCs in the entire game. Once we finish this, we can loot the place. Now, I don't recommend you take the metal scraps. They're fairly valuable, yes, but they weigh too much to be worth it. In fact, that's the main problem with most of the Dwemer loot. Some of it can be worth some good money, but you can only take one or two of them. Now, in this room we find 2 glass arrows on the floor, a silver axe on the ground over here, and quite a few gems and ebony in the barrels. A Dwemer sword is in this locked chest, and we also find some Dwemer artifacts, coins, bowls, things of that nature. Back in the lava chamber, though, we find the unique spear, Ilkarok. This spear grants a +10 to the spear skill, as well as night vision when equipped, making it a very handy item to have in our inventory, even if we're not a spear user. We also find some steel gauntlets to complete our set, and a Nord helm. Now, I'm not a huge fan of helms, but this is a Nordic helm, and we're a Nord, so I'll take it for now. Now, you may have noticed these pipes that line the walls. You'll see they have Daedric runes carved upon them. These spell out the words Worm King. Now, Worm King was the nickname of the member of the development team that was in charge of designing most of the Dwemer Ruins in the game, and he left his signature on them. Pretty awesome. Now, Worm King, of course, is also Mannimarco, the King of Worms, the most powerful necromancer to ever walk Tamriel, but it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the Dwemer to carve his name on their pipes. Anyways, to my knowledge, there's no real lore reason behind this. It's simply a member of the development team leaving his mark on the game. Back down the hall to the right, we have a vein of glass we can mine. And don't worry, no pick is necessary to mine glass in this game. Glass is very valuable, so we'll take it. There's nothing really of note in the entrance chamber, except some cogs and gears and a trapped cabinet with a mug inside. I'm not even going to bother opening it because the damage I'll receive isn't worth what the mug is worth. Once back outside, we can rest and recover our health if necessary. And now we have to find our way back to Wolverine Hall. The fastest way is definitely walking back west to Mora and taking the Silt Strider, but if you're up for adventure, why not try walking back? Either way, I'll meet you back at the Fighters Guild in Wolverine Hall. Once we turn in the quest, we receive 500 gold as a reward, and in addition to all the loot we got, it's turned out to be a very lucrative quest for us. And that's the story of the quest Battle at Nchurdamz, a quick tour of Wolverine Hall, a little about the Lesser Daedra, the Daedroth, and a little bit on the Dwemer of Vardenfell. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Lore and Loot, and I'll see you in the next episode.